Dude, stop playing with the lights. We've agreed lights on is the best way to do it.
Are you sure?
100% sure we've been through this. I'm not going through this again though.
Alright, whatever. It's not my fault we have really shitty lights.
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
I'd probably say it's a spoiler-free review.
Yeah, this entire review is spoiler free.
Captain America: Civil War, directed by the Russo brothers, stars
Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie, Don Cheadle, Jeremy Renner, Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, Chadwick Boseman, Paul Rudd, Tom Holland, Daniel Bruhl, and William Hurt.
That's pretty cool.
Nailed it.
This is the 13th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it is the third installment of the Captain America trilogy.
And this one focuses on the introduction of what's called the Sokovia Accords. They're a set of government regulations imposed on the Avengers that aims to kind of regulate their activities following the events of Age of Ultron, Winter Soldier, and the Avengers.
Yeah.
Now, Zach, I know you're a big Marvel and comic book fan, and you said this was your most anticipated movie of the year. Did it live up to the expectations you set for it?
It 100% did. It was amazing. Probably the best Captain America film. The action sequences was amazing. The whole storyline of the Avengers and how their conflict was incredible. And just how they reference back to the comic book and just... They really did an amazing job.
Yeah, this is a really, really great movie. It's everything you'd expect from a Marvel movie. It's got, like Zach mentioned, great action. The Russo brothers really have an eye for, really have a great eye for action. There was a point really early in the movie where I was worried a bit about the action, because this is something they carried over from Winter Soldier was their use of shaky cam, and they use it a lot in the film's opening scene, which kind of was distracting a bit.
The shaky cams and the rapid cuts.
Yeah, but they really amended that towards the back half. You can clearly see that the last 2/3 of the movie was what they really focused on. The opening scene of the movie is really more of a kind of introduction. It doesn't really have any... Well, it does have implications, but it's not really to do with the main story. But the scenes between, the members of Team Captain America and Team Iron Man are really some of the best superhero action scenes you'll ever see on film.
I wouldn't even say superhero. I think in action films in general.
I think that's going a bit too far, but I mean, there's one particular scene in an airport. You would have probably seen a few clips of it in the trailer. I think that's like as good as you can get for a superhero movie. We won't spoil the details of who's fighting on what side or what happens or who's, but it really is incredible what they managed to achieve. And seeing all these different superheroes kind of fight against each other and fight with each other was something really quite... It was really quite amazing. Aside from the action, though, the really incredible thing that the Russo brothers have done is this it's an incredible juggling act here when you've got a principal cast that is as big as this is. I mean, there must be at least 10 to 15 characters in the movie that are pivotal to the plot. Well, not pivotal, but important characters in the MCU, and they're all handled really, really well. Everyone has their moment to shine. You understand everyone's motivations. I mean, there's one or two characters that feel a bit tacked on. I'm sorry, Hawkeye, you didn't really need to be there.
Very true.
But everyone feels important. Everyone feels like they have a stake in this story and in this fight. You never feel like you've gone, oh, where's this person gone? The editing in this movie is phenomenal in how they balance all these different characters.
And what really got to me was how they immerse the viewer into the film so that you're never truly set on one side of the conflict. Yeah. You're always swapping between.
You see the different sides of both perspectives, of both teams.
And what they also do is they give you the perspective of each character and how they have conflict within themselves about which team to join and, moving all over the place. Yeah. And it really, really just goes to show how well the storytelling of this film is, the writing.
Yeah, and the important thing with the perspectives here is that you do understand everything. In a movie like Batman vs Superman, I didn't understand anything. I didn't understand what motivated Batman or Superman. They just both came across as petulant psychopaths.
And their mothers' names were Martha.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But these are good people. They've chosen their side because they think that this is the best thing for humanity and for the planet. They think this is the most important thing, and you get that. You're meant to be conflicted when you're watching this movie. You're meant to be going, I totally understand what Captain America's saying. At the same time, you go, what Tony Stark's saying makes perfect sense because you've seen the other movies and you understand their perspectives.
Definitely. So with the Marvel Universe ever expanding, we got in a lot of new characters entering the film. So because, we're so immersed in all the heroes, it was really easy for the Russo brothers to just seemingly transition in all these characters.
It never felt jarring. It felt like they already had a place in this world, and I think that really speaks for how well Marvel has fleshed out this world.
Exactly.
Obviously they've had 13 movies to do this, but this world. You understand this world. Yeah, so we introduced the Black Panther played by Chadwick Boseman. He's fantastic in this role.
Amazing. If you're looking forward for a Black Panther film, it's going to be incredible.
He's got a really convincing accent. Can't really say the same for Elizabeth Olsen. That was
a bit all over the place.
A bit all over the place. And of course, this movie introduces Spider-Man to the MCU. And Tom Holland was pretty great. You know, he was only in the movie for about 15, 20 minutes. But once again, his character felt important. His character felt like he had a stake in this fight as well.
And it was the best depiction of Spider-Man we've had. We've had Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. Each had their own, you know, versions of Peter Parker, versions of Spider-Man. They were good in their own parts, but Tom Holland was Spider-Man. He really made this film.
He was very good. I think maybe it's maybe a bit early to say that. Like I said, we only saw him like maybe 15, 20 minutes at most. I'm very much looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie coming out. I think it's next year now.
Homecoming.
Homecoming, that should be great. And for once in the MCU, at least I thought we had a really great villain. I mean, other than Loki, we had a really fantastic villain for the first time.
Loki and the Purple Man from Jessica Jones, which I'd highly suggest watching.
As you'd expect with most Marvel movies, this movie is very funny as well. Not as kind of quippy as Joss Whedon and The Avengers, but this movie is really funny. There's some great humour, great writing.
Yeah, especially between Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They do a really good job between them, really setting up a bromance there.
It's kind of more like a frenemy, but yeah. The two of them are great together. All the characters are great together. Whenever they're in a big room together, there's always interesting, you know, conversations. But at the same time, they always set it off with a nice little, you know, quip or banter, and it's always fantastic.
And you also see other sides of characters that you've never seen before, as well, which is really great. I mean,
especially because some of these characters were actually underdeveloped. I thought in Age of Ultron, and in this one they actually are given room to breathe and room to kind of explore their characters a bit more. And I think that's really great. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like this video and you subscribe to our channel. Next week we're going to be reviewing Bad Neighbours 2. I think it's Sorority Rising, so that should be really great. Big fan of the first one, so I'm keenly anticipating this one.
It's going to be a good comedy. So guys, we'll see you next week.